What's up, everybody? We're back. Now, before we get started, I wanted to give a quick update on a few things going on. If you missed the podcast I did with Player Essence last Sunday, I highly suggest you check it out. I'll leave links in the description. We had a great discussion, about an hour and 25 minutes long or so, about the NX and Nintendo's future, Pokemon Go, YouTube, drama and all that stuff. I think you'll highly enjoy it. So please check that out. It's on his channel only, so that's why you haven't seen it here. And also, the Quantum Tunnel did a fantastic video on the subject of is Nintendo doomed. They just posted that today, and I will leave that in the description. They also did some Eternal Darkness deep dives, and I'll leave that in the description as well. So I highly suggest you subscribe to Player Essence and to the Quantum Tunnel. They are great channels, and we'll be talking more with them in the future, of course. Now, as for today's video, I've been wanting to do this for quite a while now, but things have been even more apparent, seemingly to me, lately. Now, with Eternal Darkness, Nintendo owns the IP for that. They own the trademark. It's totally owned by Nintendo, and they have continually renewed the trademark for Eternal Darkness ever since 2002 when that game was released. There has been no sequel to that game since then. It's been 14 years. And of course, back in 2013, the project called Shadow of the Eternals was announced by Denis Dyack and his company that was then Precursor Games. Now he's formed Quantum Entanglement Entertainment with a lot of the same members from Silicon Knights and some new people, some very good people that we've seen on his channel. So Shadow of the Eternals was first revealed in 2013, as we said, and it looks extremely similar to Eternal Darkness in terms of how the game's art style looks, in terms of the gameplay, in terms of the story elements that have been hinted at, and the name Eternals also as well. And even Denis Dyack himself has said that the game is very similar to Eternal Darkness, of course, inspired something like a spiritual successor is what he said back in 2013. So naturally, when fans of Eternal Darkness, such as myself, saw Shadow of the Eternals for the first time, we automatically thought that this was the sequel to Eternal Darkness. However, at the time, it was not approved by Nintendo, and it wasn't anything announced by Nintendo that they were making an Eternal Darkness sequel. There were rumors that Eternal Darkness 2 was in development, but that was something separate, and that never came to fruition. So here we fast forward to today, and we have had hints from Denis Dyack that he's very excited for the Nintendo NX. He has said that he has nothing to announce at this time, but he's very excited for Shadow of the Eternals, and of course open to the possibility of it coming to the Nintendo NX. Now, also though, this is not just some random thing going on here that I've noticed, but besides that, on his YouTube channel, the Quantum Tunnel, over the last month or 2 months or so, he's done various videos on Eternal Darkness, various videos where he's talking about Nintendo. He did that podcast with me where we talked about Nintendo for almost the entire discussion, and he did that video today talking about is Nintendo doomed. And everything he's been saying has been extremely positive toward Nintendo. Of course, he's worked with them in the past, so of course that makes sense, but looking back on things over the last 10 years or so, he hasn't really done anything Nintendo related until this year, really. And now he's doing these videos that are focusing on Nintendo. He's doing Eternal Darkness things. He's having this channel where he's communicating with the fans. He's getting more subscribers, all while hinting that he will be able to share more information about the game in the not too distant future. All these things connecting just by coincidence, seemingly, that Nintendo keeps renewing the IP for Eternal Darkness, and this game, Shadow of the Eternals, is definitely in development. They are making this game, but they can't discuss anything about it right now. So just like developers have not been able to discuss anything Nintendo NX related, similarly, Denis Dyack and his team are not discussing Shadow of the Eternals information related either. So putting these things all together, it looks like possibly that Shadow of the Eternals could be the subtitle for the next Eternal Darkness video game, which would be the sequel to the original Eternal Darkness, Sandy's Requiem. So it makes perfect sense to me that this would be the case, that Eternal Darkness Shadow of the Eternals would be the title of the next Eternal Darkness game. I'm just speculating, of course, but it makes logical sense unless they change the name of the game. Dennis and his company are extremely excited for the Nintendo NX. They've gone publicly and said that. So are many other companies. And when you combine that with the fact that he has gone on record and said that with the Wii, his company and himself could not think of any kind of experiences that could work with that system because of the market they were going after. Now with the NX, it looks like Nintendo is refocusing its energies back on the core market. So something like Eternal Darkness, Shadow of the Eternals would be a perfect fit for the Nintendo NX, in my opinion. So if you guys out there think that this isn't a big deal or anything like that, oh, who cares, it's just another game, it's no big deal at all. Eternal Darkness was one of the best games on the GameCube back in 2002. Now granted, that was 14 years ago, and I know a lot of you guys out there may have heard some things about Denis Dyack or whatever like that, but guess what? He is a developer currently making a video game, and he is in the industry. He's still a part of the business. So regardless of what you think about him personally or whatever things he's been involved with in the past, he is actually making a video game right now, and he is supporting your favorite company, which is Nintendo. I'm talking like, you guys are my subscribers, so obviously you're a Nintendo fan. Most of you guys are that listen. Putting it into Nintendo's perspective, who would be better suited to make a sequel to Eternal Darkness than Denis Dyack, the guy who created the first game? And the first game was the only game in the series. Why would they even attempt to make a sequel without the original creator being part of the development team? So that is why I think that Eternal Darkness 2 would possibly be called Eternal Darkness Shadow of the Eternals, and it would be developed by Denis Dyack with his team at Quantum Entanglement Entertainment. I think that makes perfect sense. Again, it doesn't matter anything about Dennis's past. All it matters is that if he's making a good game. So I think that's what we're all interested in here. We're interested in having a good game, a great game to play. He has connections at Nintendo, obviously. So if Nintendo wants to have an Eternal Darkness sequel, who else better to have developed a game than Denis Dyack and his team to do it? Of course, being, published and owned by Nintendo. Pair that with the fact that he has a awesome studio that he's doing these videos on. I'm really jealous of that studio he has. If you guys go ahead and check out his channel, like I said, pair that up with the fact that Shadow of the Eternals is not on Kickstarter anymore. So they're making this game either with their own money or funding by somebody. So I guess we'll find out soon enough whether or not Shadow of the Eternals is actually Eternal Darkness Shadow of the Eternals. But either way, I think the game will be coming to the Nintendo NX in some fashion, whether it's called Eternal Darkness or not. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Do you agree with me, disagree? Is it possible or not? Let me know. And if you haven't played the original Eternal Darkness, I highly suggest you check it out and try it for yourself. It's a great game, it's a classic, and it's one of the best games on the GameCube. So I highly suggest you try that game, guys. So anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, subscribe, and send me a comment, and I'll talk to you guys very soon on the next video. Take care.